We've all heard of LSD before, lysergic acid diethylamide, a trippy compound which causes the user to experience a trip ranging anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. This drug has been portrayed in movies, music, and has even been the subject of discussion for many famous comedians. What the general public knows of LSD is the result of what the general public has been taught about LSD, and one objective of this documentary is to reveal the unknown perspectives upon the drug and its largely untold and misunderstood effects. To accomplish this, we've prepared a set of questions to interview previous LSD users. We presented the same assortment of questions to each different subject and recorded their responses. The differences between responses alongside their intricacy and detail give a glimpse into the personal experiences these subjects have had with the drug. The Tampa Bay area is home to a wealth of psychedelic arts and enthusiasts. For our test subjects, we chose to select University of Tampa students with documented previous experience with LSD. The standard set questions given to each subject was designed in such a way to keep responses as observational and objective as possible. For the safety of our interviewees, we have chosen to keep their identities as anonymous as possible. Meet Catfish and Seabass.
I'm Catfish. I'm a freshman here at the University of Tampa, and my interests include a lot of writing, a lot of researching, photography, and just getting involved. My experimentation in psychedelics has been kind of progressively growing throughout my life. Starting in, I'd say, like the beginning of high school, I started smoking and trying out some of the easier substances like that. And by the time I reached the end of high school, I began tripping and using LSD. Generally, what an LSD trip is like is a blending of all the senses, in my personal opinion. Not just the blending of senses, just the basic functions of the mind. Like, you experience a lot of confusion, but not confusion at many times that's going to make you freak out, just not really knowing what's going on. And just the blending of senses, like hearing smells and seeing sounds and things along those lines. A lot of really nice visuals and just a great body high along with it too. My tripping experiences have been very similar in many ways, but very different in a lot of ways. I'd say the effect that they have on my life has been very similar in each experience, but the hallucinations themselves are all vastly different every time. In the words of one of my favorite authors, Aldous Huxley, there's the known and there's the unknown, and in between is the doors of perception. And in my life, LSD has really worked to open those doors and to help me find those other states of consciousness in my mind. And it's really helped me realize a lot of things, like my own personal spirituality, how the spirituality that I've been practicing earlier in my life is simply just what was told to me. It wasn't actually what all of this is about, and it's really just shaped my mind, shaped my spiritual life in that way.
My name is Seabass. I'm a freshman at the University of Tampa. I'm from North Carolina. I like to play lacrosse, go fishing, just be social, party, LSD. So the first time I tried psychedelics, I was 16. Did it with my stepbrother and pretty much just played 2K all night and then went to work at 9 o'clock in the morning the next day. So from my experiences, you can't really pin down exactly what an LSD trip is like because you don't really know what is going to happen, 5 seconds into the future. So you can be having a great time and then it can just go bad all of a sudden. But it opens your eyes to perception and just being told everything your entire life. It literally gives you a way to view things in your own way and from your own perspective. So my tripping experiences have all been very different. I've never had any that have been similar. I don't think it's as much as the drug itself, but it's the environment or the people that more or less impact how it's going to go. And just doing different things every single time you trip gives you a different experience. So tripping on LSD has influenced me by just showing me in a different mindset how it's okay to be true to yourself and have your own views and your own opinions. And like I was saying, where you grow up being told how to think in someone else's words, and it lets you do that in your own ways. So, you feel, a lot less insecure, a lot less self-conscious, a lot more like open to ideas and creative thinking. And it just changes, like even one time, it literally just changes your whole outlook, even when you're not tripping, after the first time you've tried it.
If you and I observe an object and then attempt to compare that observation to one made by the same experimental parameters and variables, the only difference being sensory distortions of LSD, the same object while tripping can be perceived drastically different than any other previous past perception. Perhaps each individual's cognitive perception of the physical characteristics of their observable immediate environment is incomprehensibly fundamentally different than others. This enforces the notion that we don't live in a world of reality, but rather a world of unique perceptions.